Yes, guys, and welcome to the Stretford Paddock team news for the Manchester United versus Wolves game. We're going to have a watch-along coming soon. The news is just about to come out, so make sure you're giving us our score predictions. What do you think the lineup's going to be? We're hitting rumours that Fernandes is going to be starting, which is exciting. The question, I think, is going to be, where is he going to be playing? Is he going to be moved back to sort of accommodate for the fact that we can't play Matic in this game? And so you're going to see a sort of situation where you've got Mata, Fernandes playing a bit deeper alongside McTominay. Not McTominay, even Fred. Well, let's see. Right, news should have come out by now. Waiting. No. Yes. No. Yes. I don't know. Right, let me see what you've got your score predictions to be. Right, King Cantona, you're saying 2-1 to United. It's probably a good bet. This is going to be another tough game. It's going to be another one of those where I'm not exactly sure where I think it's going to be. Every single game that we've played against Wolves has been a tough one. It's been one where it's been hard to break teams down, impossible, or hard to break them down, almost impossible even. It's been one of those where they've been boring at times. They've been tactical battles. 27-0, Oliver Edwards says. I'd say that's probably accurate, to be honest with you. Bruno, 25 of them. Maguire 2, maybe, not sure. Fred and Bruno and Mata in 10. Yeah, that's what I think is going to be the case. I couldn't tell you for a certainty, though. But I think that's how I imagine that they're going to be lining up. Because I don't trust the idea of having Pereira and Fred as a midfield two. I think Fred's done really, really well. But there's no physicality there. Fernandes might provide a bit more of a robust physicality. Because he does tackle. He can do pretty much everything. But we are hearing rumours. There's various stuff on Twitter now that you can look up at. We've heard stuff. We think that Fernandes is going to be starting, which is exciting. What do you guys think about Ighalo as well? Because that has to be, I think, the strangest transfer I have ever seen. Like, we were talking about Ashley Young to Inter Milan. That was crazy. Smalling to Roma. That was crazy as well. But Ighalo from a Chinese team to Manchester United overnight, seemingly. It just happened. Now, actually, I think that's a sensible transfer. You look at the strikers that were available at the time. There weren't many that wanted to come as well. A lot of people say Cavani. Cavani doesn't want to come to England. His heart is set on Madrid, from what we know. What about Jovic? Well, Jovic, maybe he doesn't want to come to England. Why has nobody gone after him? You have to ask questions about that sort of stuff. Although I think Jovic would have been my preference of the strikers that were available. I just think getting anyone, is a sensible decision. We know that Ighalo has scored goals in the Premier League. We know that he can do some stuff. He was the highest goal scorer in the AFCON qualifying and AFCON. So I'm thinking surely there must be something there. Why not? He offers something completely different. He's not going to start every game. He'll start some games when we need to rest other players. You know, you don't want to play Greenwood in every game. You don't want to retire him. He's going to offer something a bit different. Lifelong United fan, first Nigerian to ever play for Manchester United. Why not? Just throw him up there, see what happens. It's cost us basically nothing to get another player in. He's going to probably wear his heart on his sleeve and just absolutely give it everything. So why not? Blue plays games, given a 15, I think that's Australian dollars. Let's go, boys. I hope so. I hope we're going to have a good game. Cheers for that, mate. The team news is going to be coming out in just a minute, I think. So we'll get that to you just as soon as it comes out. But let me know, what do you think the lineup is going to be like? What lineup do you want to see? And what are your predictions? Well, given what a disappointment Martial has been, let's give him a shot. Well, I'm not sure how disappointing Martial's been. Martial is our second highest goal scorer and one of our highest assist makers as well. He's working hard in a system that doesn't necessarily suit him, but certainly surrounded by players that don't necessarily suit him. I think there's questions to be asked about Martial, but I think that he can be a bit misunderstood, and I think that he has been playing well. I think the issue with Martial is he likes to drift out wide, whereas sometimes we need a striker who stays central. Ighalo maybe offers that in a way that Martial doesn't. I think Martial is a good player, and I think he's the type of player that can switch it on. And when he's on, he's in just fantastic form. I think maybe now with this booster Fernandes, I'm thinking we win this game because I don't think we'd have won it before. I just think Wolves is such a hard team to beat. We're going out there with effectively nothing to offer. It would have been one of those where I see us slipping up even and not winning. Right, the team news has just come out. Okay, so in goal, David De Gea, no surprise there. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw. We're back to a back four. Fred, Andreas, Mata, Bruno Fernandes, James and Martial. Right. Okay, I'm going to read that out again. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, Andreas, Mata, Bruno Fernandes, James, and Martial. Bruno Fernandes makes a start, which is exciting. I'm assuming that Andreas is on the right, Bruno Fernandes is dropping back, and Juan Mata is playing it as that attacking forward. I can't say that for a certainty, but I think that's probably the case. How exciting is it going to be to see Bruno Fernandes on the pitch in a Manchester United shirt, finally? Now, with that lineup, as I said, I assume he's going to be being played back. Now, that's not his best position. We know his best position is behind the strike force, creating, driving forward. But from the midfield, I think he's going to be doing that again. There's no Williams. You're all pointing that out. I think that's fairly uncalled for. I think Williams offers something going forward that Shaw just doesn't. He picks the ball up and he drives forward and gets us up the other end of the pitch in a way that I don't think Shaw offers. Shaw's performances, though, have been semi-decent recently. Against Liverpool and against Man City, he did play well. He played well on that left side of the sort of back three that we had. So I guess maybe Ole's giving him a chance to prove himself as the first team player again. Maybe he just wants to rest Williams. Maybe he thinks Williams, because he's a little bit less good defensively, I'm not sure if he is, but maybe he thinks that, rest him up a little bit more. Give the guy who's a bit more defensively apt maybe a start as opposed to going forward. This is probably a game where we're going to win it by 1 or 2 goals. We're not going to win it. It's not Newcastle or anything. We don't win many games by more than a couple goals. This one, I reckon, is going to be something like 1-0. It's going to be another scrappy tactical battle, just like the FA Cup tie. You're playing against a fantastic manager with a fantastic set of teams, against a manager who has proved that he can have some tactical prowess, and I think it will be a pragmatic approach to this game. Mata on the right, says Keith Yates. That's another possibility. I don't know if that is going to be what we see, because Mata's legs have gone to such a degree that he's not very effective out on the right. But when you play him in the middle, such as against Mata, such as against Wolves the last time out in the FA Cup, you think that's his best position. And I think, again, that's where he's going to be played in this team. There you can see we've got our team up here. We're just putting it up as a 4-2-3-1. De Gea, Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka. No surprises there, apart from maybe Williams missing. Fred and Andreas sitting back, perhaps. James, Fernandes, Mata and Martial. That's a potential of what we're going to be seeing. I think you're going to see that as a very fluid sort of triangle on the right-hand side almost. You're going to see Bruno Fernandes drop down, Mata move inside, Andreas move to the right. Maybe that's what Ole has a game plan for today, which would be quite interesting to see if going down the right-hand side we can actually create something, because we don't create a lot of stuff down the right. 4-4-2 diamond, says Matty Jones. That's a big possibility as well. You could see Fred sitting back, Andreas sort of to the right, Fernandes to the left, Mata in that cam position, James and Martial up top, sort of in that narrow sort of 4-1-2-1-2 that you could see. Why isn't Williams or Greenwood starting instead of Pereira? I agree, Rudiback. I'm not sure why Pereira starts. I think it's the versatility that Pereira offers that I think Ole keeps on using him. Pereira can do a lot of things not very well, basically. But, as opposed to someone like Lingard, when we didn't have Bruno Fernandes, that's why he was getting game time. Without Matic, I think, is another thing, because I don't think if we had a lineup like this, I think what you see Fred and Matic instead of Andreas. Unfortunately, the reality is he went and got himself a red card as well as scoring a fantastic goal. What's up with the protest? Bazzi says, well, that's a good point as well. We're going to be keeping an eye out on that during our watch along, which you'll be able to catch about 10 minutes before the game kicks off. It'll be me, Joe and Alex here, drinking a bit, watching some football, chatting about it, chatting about everything else that's not the football really as well. But Andreas isn't even championship level according to Scott Horst. He probably struggles to get into some systems and some teams, doesn't he? Except Shaw might screw up. He might do. Now, I think Mata was going to be number 10, Pereira on the wing, and Fernandes beside Fred. I agree, Osazi, but I think you're going to see that fluid as well. I think you might see Fernandes drop back if Pereira goes forward a bit. You might see Mata drop into that position. So I think it's going to be, back and forth. Mandraken says, do you drink rum, Pat? It's not my first choice, but I'll do drink it. I've got to go beer and whiskey. It's definitely better. But there you go. Bruno hat-trick from that United family. How you doing, Carl? Yeah, hopefully. Not going to happen, but you'd love to see it, wouldn't you? I wonder what a cheeky bet on that. Joe, now Mandragon's asking Joe, do I drink rum? Bit of a weird one. Please let's not do Fernandes. Please not do to Fernandes what we did to Anderson. what did we do to Anderson? We gave Anderson a Premier League. He did all right for us for a couple of years. We didn't think he was going to be the best thing ever. I don't think we ever hyped him up to be the best thing ever. He was all right. He did what he had to do. Unless you mean Ander Herrera. I don't think you do. But if you do, Ander Herrera was mint. My favourite United player for a long time. So there you go. Watch Fernandes stare down Pereira when he scores a screamer. I hope so, Tyson. Can you imagine that? I wonder what that training session was like. Do you think Andres was like happy to speak to him? Do you think he goes up to him in his broken Portuguese and starts trying to communicate and Bruno just brushes him off, walks off? Well, Andres, I don't know. Is he Brazilian though? Have you seen his middle names? It's like saying I'm Irish. And I'm not really Irish. I like to say I am, but I'm not. I'm Andreas basically. So there you go. Anderson was an exciting attacking talent, and we played him as a DM. Was he? I don't know. And Anderson did a very good job for us. And I don't think we're going to play Bruno Fernandes as a DM permanently. I think if we're playing him in that double pivot, he'll be going forward a lot. And the only reason he'd be in that position is because Matic isn't fit and McTominay isn't fit and Pogba isn't fit. And the fact that, Pereira's playing is probably because Rashford isn't fit. You've got to remember that we have 3 major injuries to this team that mean that we're not playing at the level that we necessarily would be week in, week out. So I'm hoping for it. Mention the bench, please. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Sorry. The bench is Romero, Dalot, Jones, Williams, Lingard, Chong, and Greenwood. No Gomez again. That's because he's off, isn't he? He started last night for the under-23s. That's a good point. Didn't think of that. I think he probably is going to be on the way out. Hope not, because I think Gomez is a good talent. But if it hasn't worked out for him in England, it hasn't worked out for him in England. What are you going to do? Greenwood off the bench. You're going to expect to see that at some point during the game, probably for Pereira. If we're losing, maybe you'll see Greenwood come on for James if we're winning. Williams, I'm not sure if you'll see him feature today. Maybe if we're losing, you might see him drive forward to replace Shaw. That's often a change that we've seen. Dalot as well. Again, if we're losing, that's the sort of thing that you'd have thought, right? You think, right, sack off the defensive stuff. We've done as much as we can. You take Dalot, you bring on Dalot maybe for Wan-Bissaka, who is mint and going forward. Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, still has work to do going forward, but he's fantastic. That United family. Matter off the right, United confirmed it. Perhaps. Oh, yum. There you go. That's what you want for the game. They are mint. Are they Greg's ones as well? Yeah. That's it. Best ones. Matter off the right, according to that United family. United confirmed it. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because Matter isn't that good off the right. He's fantastic as a 10. He's still proved like that last game against Wolves that he has it, doesn't he? Going forward on the right, I'm not sure Matt has as much to offer, but you're going to see him cut inside and you're going to see Pereira coming from that sort of more defensive position, overlapping him. And that's why I think it's going to be fairly fluid, that sort of right-sided triangle. Right, guys, thanks for joining us. Make sure to come and join us for the watch-along. We'll be on here about 10 minutes before the game kicks off. Me, Joe and Alex, drinking a little bit, talk about the football, and mainly talk about anything else but the football. There you go. See you later, guys.